everybody, welcome back to my channel. So for you guys today, I'm going to be testing out the Muse collection from Jamie Genevieve's brand Vieve. So Jamie Genevieve is the founder of the brand. They came out with like this Muse palette. It's a very pretty palette. They also came out with a red lipstick and a red lip liner, and then I bought some other products from one of the original launches. So if you guys want to see my thoughts and opinions on that, please just keep on watching and we will get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is prime our eyes, and I did the prime in air quotes because I'm not going to be using a primer that I normally use. I'm going to be using one of the eye wands that I bought off of Cult Beauty from Vieve. Just because that's what Jamie does a lot, and you know, I figure if it's her brand, she's gonna know the best way to use the products. So for the eye wand, I'm gonna be using the one in vanilla, which is the lightest color. It is like a white shade. Okay, so I'm gonna be using this as my primer. Let me put the cap back on so it doesn't dry out. And then I'm just gonna use my fingers to kind of blend that product out. It's not really tacky like an eye base I feel like normally is, at least the ones that I use. I use like I prefer very like wet feeling eye bases compared to something that's dry like this. But it is, I mean, like, it's sticky. I can feel it on my eyelids. So then the palette I'm going to be using today is the Muse collection, this one. So it does have like this on there. And this is like a nicely weighted palette. I will say that. I'm glad like it didn't arrive broken or anything, which is great. So then I guess for the first shade, I'm going to go in with Peony, which is this first color right here on the top. I'm also going to peel that thing off because that's fun times. So I'm going to do like one eye on camera and then do okay. I'm just going to do one eye on camera. That shade is there because I can feel that it's there. Like that shade is there. I can feel it. I cannot see it because it is literally like, can you even see that on my finger? It is literally the same color as my skin tone. Okay. So then I'm going to go in with the shade. I kind of want this to be like a deeper little bit of a smoky eye. So I'm going to go in with Merlot, which is the fourth color on the bottom row. It's like a dark mauvey pink. blending very well on top, and that shade is nicely pigmented. It's not patchy at all, which is lovely, because I find that with like a lot of colors that are red based, or have got like a base that is like within the red family, so red and pink, or purple and pink both kind of use like red, I would assume, as a base. They turn out patchy a lot of the time. That one is not patchy at all, so I really like that. I am gonna go back into that color to kind of just create like the wing that I like to have for my particular eye shape, to kind of like lift up my eye. And then I'm going to grab this little packing brush from like ColourPop, and I'm going to grab Velvet, which is the last shade in the palette. It is the darkest as well. It is like a nice dark purple. And kind of pack that color on. Wow. And there is like, okay, I want to say there is like no fallout on my face either right now, which is quite nice. I enjoy that. Grab another small, really tiny blending brush and go into Velvet still, and just kind of blend out the edge here, and also kind of blend into that wing shape. All right, that shade is being a little bit patchy, like right here in the center where I have that wing at. So I'm gonna take the packing brush and kind of pack that color on. And then I'm going to take the blending brush that we used earlier and see if maybe like a bigger blending brush will help. Diffuse that at all. That is not working. That is patchy as hell. Like right here, can you see? It's like it's missing a whole chunk. And I know I put color down there. I put primer there. So why is it not? So now it's too dark. Just looks like a stripe. I don't like that. I'm gonna go back in. I'm gonna mix Bow, which is the last shade on the first row, and Merlot together, and kind of use that to amp up my crease a little bit. I don't like that. And it's patchy again. What the fuck? Look at it. It's so patchy with that darker color. Like you can see right where I blended the two crease colors in. I don't understand. Okay, that's as good as that's gonna get. Okay. So the last color I'm going to do at the moment is I'm going to take Regal, which is the second or the fourth color on the top row. It's the second shimmer in the palette. It looks like that. I'm gonna use that as my overall lid color. Patchy again. It is like quite an opaque shade, but it's not very like sparkly on your eye. And if it's not gonna be sparkly with my finger, there's no way it's gonna be sparkly with anything else. So I'm gonna tap Finery on top of it and see if that helps amp up the shimmeriness of it all. And that does. See, that's what I wanted. I wanted Finery, but I like the color of those two mixed together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my other eye and the rest of my face sped up, and then we will come back. I don't know. Does it look good? No. Oh. Okay, so I did my eyebrows and my foundation, concealer, and powder. Everything else except for like mascara and lashes, I didn't buy those. I have from Vieve. So we're going to do that really quick. The first thing I want to try out is this thing I've been holding, which is the Vieve Modern Bronzer. I like this. I like how this feels. It feels like very sturdy. It feels very nice. I enjoy the feeling of this. Like, and this looks. So what I'm gonna do is I am just going to take like a big, because I want like a softer bronzer, and I have dog hair on all my brushes, dog and cat hair. Lovely. So I'm just gonna take like this big fluffy brush from ColourPop, and I have this in the shade medium, so I have like medium 1 and medium 2. I am going to just, which one do I want? They're both matte, by the way. I think I'm gonna go with medium 1 for right now. Can you see the difference? That's like very nice. It's not an insane bronzer, especially not with this brush. It's just like a nice, soft, diffused look, which is fine because that's what I like. I like a softer, more diffused bronze look. Bronze my forehead a little bit. I like this. I think I like this a lot. It's very smooth. It's very like almost creamy, but not. I like this, and then I'm just gonna dust a little bit on my nose. I like that. I think it has sculpted me quite nicely without looking crazy, which is nice. I enjoy that. Okay, nicely done. For the blush, the one that I picked out is, I think it's Pesca. Oh, my garbage is everywhere. Yeah, the Sunset Blush in Pesca. Good. And I like the fact that everything has a mirror in it, because that just makes it a little bit easier to apply, like if you're on the go. So this is like what it looks like. And just okay, the blush I like as well. It does like the same thing as the bronzer. It's very smooth. It's very pigmented without being crazy pigmented. And I like it. It's not emphasizing any texture that I have. If anything, I think it might be helping to blur it a little bit, which is lovely. Just because I do have like a ton of texture on my cheeks. So I like that. I'm not sure it's like my favorite, but it's not bad. So then I also have the Vieve Nova Glow highlighter in the shade Bijou, which is the lightest one. This did come like a little itty bitty bit like broken right here. Like it's missing a chunk right off the edge. It's not a lot. It's not that big a deal to me, but that will go into a discussion that we're going to have later. But this is what it looks like. It is like a very sparkly type of product. I don't know how I feel about that. The other eye wand, there it is, in the shade Raven, which is black. It looks like this. And I'm kind of gonna just use this as I would an eyeliner. They didn't have one, but I'm like, this should work. The small blending brush that we used earlier, I am gonna go back into the shade Velvet, so that dark purple, and kind of use that to smoke out my lower lash line. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so I did put on some mascara. I also put on false eyelashes. They're not on correctly. But I also put on a different highlighter. And you guys will see why, but this one's popping. And I'm very happy with it. That's my mom playing with there. So the last thing we have to do is the lip. I'm going to use the one from this collection, which is going to be the Muse lip liner and the Muse lipstick. Yeah, we're gonna do that because they're like red. I could do a neutral, but I kind of want to try out the red because if this is a good red, I'm gonna be very, very pleased. Because I love a good red lip. I actually just did a declutter of my lipsticks. I didn't film it. I tried. It did not work. But yeah, I only ended up keeping like 6 red lipsticks. So let's see. It's pigmented. It's not super creamy like the KKW ones were, or like ColourPop's are. They're not super creamy, but I'm hoping that means maybe it'll stay a little bit longer. And then the lipstick is this one. Oh, this is what the lip liner looks like too, packaging wise. And then this is what the lipstick looks like in the packaging. It has a V on the bottom. I will say, like, the one thing I like about this is the fact that the sticker has got big enough writing on it that I can see it. It's still not like huge writing, but it's like bigger than a lot of them. That's a pretty red shade. Ooh. Oh, I like that. Nice. Okay. All right. Yeah, I like that. So this is the final look. I am going to do final thoughts now because I do have some thoughts. Okay, let's start with things that I enjoyed. I really liked this modern bronzer formulation. The packaging is nice, the color is nice for me, and I'm not even like a medium skin tone, so like this will work for me now, and then if I ever get tan during the summer, this shade will work for me. So if you are pale, you could probably use the light one as that, or if you just wanted to go heavier on the bronzer, like I could use this one. I like the lips. Those are nice. Like it is almost like a matte, but not, because it is still like a cream base, but like the pigmentation is there. And I have a feeling that this will last underneath my mask for a little bit. Okay, that's cute. The eye ones. I like the black one. I like Raven. And I used that as like an eyeliner. I don't know how it would perform as an eye base. I didn't use it that way. I didn't purchase it with the intention of using it that way. But I like the color. I like how pigmented it went on. I like how easily it blended in with the eyeshadow that I put there. I think like the blush is fine. It's not my favorite just because it is like a matte blush. It's a very matte blush, and I'm not the biggest fan of matte blushes, but for a matte blush, it went on very smooth. It wasn't emphasizing my texture or anything, and I enjoyed that about it. So I like the blush. I don't like it as much as I like the bronzer and lipstick, but I like it. It's like a solid 8 out of 10. The lips are a 10 out of 10. The bronzer is a 10 out of 10. The highlighter. This is where we're starting to get into the things I did not enjoy. The highlighter. I don't like this. I do not like this at all. I'm going to keep using it because I almost wonder if like the deeper you get, the better it gets, but right now I don't like this. I put on an Ofra highlighter because within 10 minutes of wearing this, like when I was gone to put on mascara and eyelashes, which was like 15 minutes, it was gone. The glow was gone. It did not last. It did not stay at all. So this is Ofra. This is not worth it. Absolutely not. Like I said, I like the black one of this. The white one, I do not. I don't think that these are good eye bases, in my opinion. I think they're too dry. They're not tacky enough to really adhere the eyeshadow, which is a problem. So I'm going to maybe use this as like an eye base for like a cream eyeshadow, something that is more emollient itself. Maybe see if that'll work. Either that, or I'm going to use these as something. I think like this white one would be good if you wanted to do like a cut crease, because it is in a stick form. It would probably be pretty easy just to like trace in the cut crease. I hope that she comes out with like eyeliner soon and that they're like this pigmented though, because that would be lovely. But these, I'm going to give them a 5 out of 10 because I really loved the black one. And I did not particularly care for the white one as I used it. So those are getting like a 5 out of 10. The eyeshadow palette. The Muse eyeshadow palette. I was enjoying this up until I used the shade Velvet and then the shimmer shades. The shimmery shades are not really shimmers. They're more like satin. They're not very sparkly like at all. They're almost like satins. Like I have on all 3 of them right now. You saw me layer 2 of them, and then I took and I put Divine in my inner corner, and then I layered that on top of the other ones a little bit more to get it up to this level of sparkly. So they are not very sparkly on their own. They're not sheer, which I like. Like they are fully opaque, but they're almost like a satin versus a shimmer. And then I think I liked everything else about this palette except for the shade Velvet, and you guys saw why. It went on patchy. It did not blend well on top of itself. Other colors did not. Like if I blended other colors on top of it, those colors would blend fine, but then that one would dust off. So as of right now, I'm giving this an F. Like I'm giving this a 4 out of a 10 right now. I am going to try it on top of an eye base that I normally use. One that's a little bit more tacky, one's that a little bit more like wet. And then I'm going to try and use it in a different way too, because I did notice when I did this eye, I went in and I kind of like traced it where I wanted it to go first, and then I went in and packed it on. That seemed to work a little bit better than like packing it on and then blending it out. So I'm going to try that out too. But right now, this is a 4 out of 10. I don't like this. I do not like this at all. But yeah, I'm actually like very surprised with how I feel about it, just because I really like Jamie Genevieve. Oh, okay, let's go back to the highlighter and the packaging. This is the packaging. Like the unicartons all come in this type of packaging, and I realize that having a unicarton be super sturdy isn't like that big of a deal. just because these, I'm gonna throw this away. Like, quite frankly, I'm gonna throw this away. But as like something that is meant to protect the item, my highlighter I showed you, like the corner is kind of a little bit like broken. It's not like very bad, but it's like, do you see all like this crumbly bit? That was there even before I used it today. So I think that this either needs to be upgraded or Cult Beauty needs to use bubble wrap. There was no bubble wrap in my package. None. It was tissue paper. It was about this big of a layer of tissue paper, but that was it. There was no other shock absorption, and I'm sorry, when you're sending something from across the sea, you know, it's coming from the UK, it needs to have better shock absorption, whether it's like foam or bubble wrap, but tissue paper does not cut it. Maybe if you live in the UK, it's not such a big deal, but like I said, I live in Michigan, okay? That's the UK, it's way far away, baby, way far away. But those are my thoughts and opinions on the brand Vieve so far. I am going to, like I said, I'm going to retry the Muse palette. Maybe I'll do that in another video. I also want to try some stuff from the original collection. No. That I didn't get to today. So like the Essential palette, I want to see how that works because that one's like more warm toned browns, and I'm very excited about that. Oh, she might be taking a nap, Nate. I'm sorry. And I want to test that out. But the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to like set my face really quick. Just to like make sure everything stays sealed in, because this is the makeup I'm wearing to work, which is why I was really annoyed when this was patching off. But anyway, you guys, that is it for today's video. Please let me know your thoughts down below. And yeah, with that being said, I will see you all in the next video. Bye.